What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Z Sports and Entertainment. I am Z, coming to you from the basement. So I was at work the other day. I got a new subscriber. His name's Jose. Jose might be one of the funniest, smartest, but craziest dudes I have met. And when I say crazy, I don't mean like he's like buck wild or anything. But Jose is Jose is a character, but he's a good character, and he's somebody you want to have as an acquaintance. So Jose, shout out to you. Jose told me I need to be a little bit, more loose in my videos. I need to be a little bit more fun. Need to open up a little bit more. Says I'm too serious, man. You too serious. And you know what? Jose's probably right. I am a little too serious. But again, that's the point of this. We opening up. We doing what we want to do. We talking about what we want to talk about. So let's talk about it. Today, what we got? We got week 4, NFL week 4 predictions. That's what we doing. I done gave you guys the recaps the past 2 weeks, and I've really been wanting to do these prediction videos. We finally gonna get into it. Let's talk about it. Recap real quick: Bengals, Dolphins. If you haven't watched my last video, about Tua, please check it out. Also, I'm not gonna speak on anything that happened as far as, from an injury standpoint. I'm only speaking on the game. That was a tough one for Miami. Emotionally, all kinds of stuff. That's one of those games where as soon as something like that happens, you just want to get on the plane and go home. You don't even want to finish the game. But I truly believe the Dolphins would have won that game if that hadn't taken place. But the Bengals took advantage of the situation. They capitalized and they turned it around. Once 0-2, now 2-2. That's a good win for Cincinnati. I really hope the Dolphins can bounce back because they looking like they gonna be a force. They truly do look like they gonna be a force. Bengals 2-2, Dolphins 3-1. We're gonna hop over. This Sunday we got an early game. We got a 9:30 a.m. game. I love 9:30 a.m. football. Oh my God, never would have thought. Vikings, Saints. They going to London. Word on the street is no Jameis Winston. Andy Dalton could get the nod at quarterback. And if I'm being honest, that might make the Saints a little bit better. Nothing against Jameis. Nothing against Jameis at all. But when you have the type of receivers that, the Saints have, and you got to be more effective. You got to be more effective. You got to be more productive. I mean, you got Alvin in the backfield. I mean, you're not using him. The Saints have a lot to figure out on offense. Defense is carrying them right now. But offensively, they have a lot to figure out. And for Jameis' sake, I really hope Andy Dalton doesn't come in here and start slinging it. Because if he turns into the Andy Dalton of old, Cincinnati Bengals, Andy Dalton, he could become the starting quarterback of that team. Because I could very well easily see him getting the ball to Michael Thomas, Olave, Jarvis, AK. No problem in the right spots. That's been Jameis' problem. Missing reads, not making the right throws, inaccuracy. I mean, Jameis, it's been a rough first 3 weeks. It's been a first, you take away that second half in Atlanta, Saints are 0-3. Real talk. Vikings had a good bounce back win last week. I want to see if Justin Jefferson can get back on track. Last couple of weeks, he's kind of been shut down. Jeff Okuda got him last week. Vikings were still able to win the game. Week before that, Darius Slay, in my opinion, had the best game of his career. And it's not going to get any easier this week. You got Marshawn Lattimore. Marshawn Lattimore may not have great technique. He may not be fundamentally sound, but dude is aggressive and he plays his ass off. So regardless, you got your work cut out. Who do you have winning this game? I got the Minnesota Vikings. I got the Minnesota Vikings beating the New Orleans Saints in London. I'm not going to get into all that. I got the Minnesota Vikings beating the New Orleans Saints. Next game, we got the Tennessee Titans traveling to Indianapolis to play the Colts. I think last week is everything the Colts needed to get back on the right path. A couple of players are back. A couple of players came back last week. You started to get a better understanding of what you are as a team. Defense played great against the Kansas City Chiefs, even though Travis Kelce did drop probably a game-clinching touchdown. But defense played great against the Chiefs. Offense played just good enough. And if I'm the coach, I'm giving Chris Jones a call and I'm saying appreciate you for that win. Tennessee got back on track this week too. Tennessee they got back to their winning ways with a win over the Raiders. I don't know what Tennessee is though. I don't know what they is. I don't know what they are. I don't know who they are. I don't know what type of identity they have. They just have they have splash players. Tennessee's a tough one. Tennessee's a tough one. Don't really know how to rate them. Don't really know how to rank them. Don't really know how to judge them. They got a lot of work to do in Tennessee. Mike Vrabel seems to be one of those coaches who, looks at what's in front of him versus the name on the back of the jersey, which is why we don't know a lot about Tennessee because we don't know a lot of these guys. Traylon Burks is looking pretty good. Robert Woods is looking pretty good. They need to get Austin Hooper a little more involved, and I'm sorry, but I think Derrick Henry needs more touches. That's probably crazy sounding, but Derrick Henry needs more touches. I got the Indianapolis Colts beating the Tennessee Titans this week. I got the Colts beating the Titans. Don't know if Darius Leonard is back yet. Not really sure. But I got Matt Ryan and the Colts beating Tannehill and the Titans. Next game, Chicago Bears going to New York to play the Giants. Chicago's 2-1 right now. But if you look at their 2 wins, the way I look at it is this. If it's sunny versus raining week 1 against the 49ers, I think the 49ers beat them. If they beat the Houston Texans, Khalil Herbert doesn't have a career day, and Roquan Smith, he saved the day. But that receiver doesn't, he clearly dropped the ball. If he doesn't drop that pass, they go on to beat them. They go on. The Texans go on to beat the Bears, and the Bears have been one of the more fortunate teams in the league. But I can say the same for the Giants. We got 2 2-1 teams going at it, who people did not expect to be 2-1. I mean, Giants are coming off a tough loss at home against the Cowboys. Sterling Shepard is out for the season with an ACL. That's tough because he ruptured his Achilles last year, worked his ass off to get back. Man. But you know what? I'm going to go with the Giants. I'm really feeling the Giants. I'm really enjoying watching the Giants play football. The way Brian Daboll is using Saquon, it's like poetry in motion. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, guys. I mean, Saquon is gonna have a season to remember. I feel the Bears. Don't know if David Montgomery is going to be back. That shouldn't be too much to worry about because Khalil Herbert is starting to prove that he is starting. He's a starter in this league. Bears can't throw the football. And that's frustrating. That especially for me because if you know me, you know that I was one of the people who. It's not that I disagree with the Kyle Pitts pick, but I was one of the people who wanted the Falcons to draft Justin Fields at 4. I was. I wanted the Falcons to take him at 4. Reason being, I kind of saw Matt Ryan not being here more than the season. So if we draft Justin Fields at 4 and give him the Trey Lance treatment, we got Justin Fields as our starting quarterback right now. Marcus Mariota probably isn't on the team. He might still be. I'll take that back. Mariota probably is still on the team, but he's probably a backup. And we don't draft Desmond Ridder. Now I don't know if that alternative is you know what I mean? I don't know what the results of that is, but that's what I wanted. But it just frustrates me. Justin Fields could throw the ball in high school. Justin Fields could throw the ball in college. You go back and look at some of his college games, 300 plus yards, 4 or 5 touchdowns. We're throwing darts and dimes. It's ridiculous. I don't know how much different the Ohio weather is from Chicago, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Justin Fields and that right arm of his. But I got the Giants winning this game. I got the Giants coming out on top. Got the Giants moving to 3-0. Bills Ravens, game of the week in my opinion. Lamar Jackson's looking like he's gonna be the MVP this year. And that's crazy. Because who genuinely thought he was going to come out here and do more than he's already done? Like, what they said, price is going up. Price is going up. Bills, I got the Bills winning this game. And I gave you that prediction early because of this. They lost a tough one in Miami. And it's hard to say that they got beat by the Dolphins. They got beat by the Heat. The Bills got beat by the Heat. You watch that game, Stephon Diggs could barely finish his routes in the fourth quarter. And Josh Allen started to get frustrated. It was a beautiful game to watch. I mean, to watch that game, and as it was going off, transitioning to the next game, seeing players literally laid out on the field because they just can't go anymore. That it's gonna sound crazy, but that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I think the Bills are gonna, bounce back this week against Baltimore. But I do think it's gonna be a fairly ugly game. I think the defenses are gonna control the tempos. I still think the quarterbacks are gonna have, good games. They're gonna come out and perform, but instead of their numbers being so eye-popping, I feel like it's going to be one of those, what I need to do for us to win this game. And as we saw last week, Josh Allen throwing the ball 60-plus times with 40-plus completions, 400-plus yards, doesn't necessarily translate to wins. So, and something else, Buffalo, run the football. Y'all could have a 3-headed monster back there, but you guys are using them as receivers. Run the football. I got Buffalo winning this game. Chargers, Texans. Ooh, San Diego. Oh, I said San Diego. Los Angeles. A lot of people had y'all, doing a lot of big things this year, but the season has not been friendly. It has not been kind to you guys at all. Justin Herbert's broken ribs. Keenan Allen missed 2 straight games. Your left tackle goes out for the season. It is J.C. Jackson, $87 million man, has only played 1 game, and in that 1 game, he has gotten burnt. I mean, it's looking ugly. Joey Bosa on the IR. It's looking bad in LA for the Chargers. Lucky for them this week they got the Texans. And no disrespect to the Texans, but this is a team I would want to play coming off a loss like that. Davis Mills, balling, in my opinion. I think he's having a good season so far. It's just not a lot of talent on that team. It's not. And I hate to say that, but when there's a good chance that Stingley could be one of your best players, granted he went 3. Granted the hype was there, but Texans just got a lot of work to do. That's a team that's looking forward to the draft over the next couple of years. I got the Chargers winning that game. Seahawks going to Detroit. I ain't even really going to get stuck on this one too long. Seahawks, after watching them for 60 minutes against the Falcons last week, they got a lot of work. You know, they got a lot of work to do. Just kind of like the Texans, not much talent on that team. You take away DK and Tyler Lockett, you ain't really got much. Seriously, you ain't really got much. I do feel like Rashard Penny needs 20 to 25 touches a game because I feel like he can do some good things. But I got Detroit winning this game. In my opinion, Detroit's the better overall team. At this current point in time, I feel like they're a better coached team. I don't know, maybe I got Hard Knocks fever. I got Detroit winning, man. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jets traveling to Pittsburgh. Play the Steelers. I think Zach Wilson's back this week. Doesn't change the fact that I'm picking the Steelers. This might be Mitchell Trubisky's last shot. You know, not last shot, but this if he doesn't come out here and put up a convincing performance, win, lose, or draw, he might be done after this week. I don't know how true this is, but I think I read somewhere that George Pickens made a public comment saying everybody's open, and that's not something you want to hear. Jets, Zach Wilson, welcome back, Mom Slayer. I like the Jets. I think the Jets are finally doing what they need to do to get back to being competitive. Like, their offense, in my opinion, you keep this offense together, it just needs time. We still got to figure out if Zach Wilson's the guy. Still got to figure that out. But over the last couple of years, they have made some great draft picks. You drafted Mekhi Peck. You drafted Mekhi Becton. You just pray that the kid can stay healthy, man. I mean, in situations like this, I think about Frank Gore. I think Frank Gore had 2 horrible knee injuries in college. I do. I think he had 2 horrible knee injuries in college, and nobody would have expected Frank Gore to play 20 years and be 3rd all-time leading rusher. How do you have 2 major knee injuries like that in college, but in the NFL, you're literally the most durable player ever, except Tom Brady? God, I don't like him. Anyway, but you drafted Mekhi Becton, you drafted the guard from UCLA. Michael Carter and Breece Hall could be a force in the backfield as a duo. Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore. You signed Corey Davis. Braxton, they still got Braxton. Brios is solid, nice, could do a lot of good things in the slot. And the defense is it ain't too shabby, especially when it's being coached by Robert Saleh. But I got the Steelers coming out on top. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be a very competitive game. I think the line says still. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. The money line has Steelers -3. I can get down with that. Steelers -3. I can get down with that. Let's move on. Jaguars Eagles. This is probably the most interesting game of the week, in my opinion. Solely because the Jaguars are 2-1, but they're not 2-1 like the Bears. Their 2-1 is pretty fucking convincing. Week 1, you lose to the Commanders. Carson Wentz had one of those games. All right, we get it. Week 2, they stomped the Colts. I hadn't seen Matt Ryan get beat down like that in a long time. Like, it was bad. It was bad. And if Trevon Walker and Josh Allen are going to look like this, sign me up. Sign me up. I want to see it. I love it. Trevor Lawrence. He finally getting coached. Doug Peterson, good job, man. I don't care if it's 2 wins. Good job. You paid Christian Kirk, and he's not Kenny Galladay. He ain't just the highest paid receiver because he had they using him out of the backfield, in the slot, out wide, and they ain't just using him. Trevor is looking for him. You paid a man as much as you paid him, give him the ball. Zay Jones, Marvin Jones. Who am I forgetting? Evan Ingram, Etienne, James Robinson. They look good. They signed Brandon Shreve from the Commanders. I like what the Jaguars are doing. I like it. Are they gonna beat the Eagles? Whew. Jalen Hurts is up. Believe it or not, you look at Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson's numbers, pretty fucking similar. Pretty similar. I might even do a little player comparison while I talk about this so y'all can just see what it looks like. Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson, they on the same type of time. They ain't playing. They got money to make. They got games to win and money to make, man. For real. AJ Brown looking like a legit one. Had questions in Tennessee. Real talk, I did have questions in Tennessee. But when you go from a pocket passing quarterback to a dual threat quarterback, and the dual threat quarterback is making you looking better than the pocket pass, like it's just ridiculous. Devontae Smith finally came out last week. The defense is the defense. That defense is gonna be a problem all year. All 3 levels, they got dudes. Like they got dudes on all 3 levels. Zach, who you got winning the game, man? Damn. Man. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. Eagles at home. The way Jalen Hurts is playing, he's playing smart football, man. Like when I say smart football, I mean like, 7 to 8 yard first downs. Some drives they don't even see third down. And when you are in third down situations, 3rd and short, and you're not going off, you're 3rd and 2, you make a 3rd and 2 call. It's not 3rd and 2 and you make a call as if it's 3rd and 11. I don't understand that. I was talking to my boy, I think yesterday. I was talking to my boy yesterday. It's been some bad coaching this year. Clock management, play calling, decision making, rotations, lineups, subs, package. Like it's been some bad coaching this year. And it pisses me off, man. Because I'm sitting on the couch and I see this stuff. Y'all getting paid millions. But that's besides the point. You still ain't say who you got winning the game. I got the Eagles. I got the Eagles winning. Eagles are going to control the tempo of the game. The Jaguars are going to be competitive. I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on Jalen Hurts. But I see the Eagles coming out on top. They got the money line for this game at 6.5 favoring the Eagles, I think that says. I think it's going to be closer than that. If I'm a betting man, I got Jaguars plus 6.5. Now, if you don't know about betting, just because I said I got the Jaguars plus 6.5, they can still lose the game. But as long as within that 6-point, radius, that range, I'm good. They lose by a touchdown or more, I'm out of there. Oh God, Browns Falcons, man. Browns Falcons. Damn. I got the Browns winning this game, and I got the Browns winning this game for one reason. Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb a beast. Nick Chubb is a dog. Man, I don't see us being able to stop Nick Chubb. Browns have one of the best O lines in the game. This is the game that's going to show what our pass rush really looks like. Because Jacoby's not going to he may drop back 30 times. And that's a lot for Jacoby. You get 30 attempts out of Jacoby, you got to get to him at least 3. You do. But if I'm a betting man, I'm playing the run. The money line for this game is pretty low though. They got the Browns minus 1.5. Okay. Falcons finally getting some respect. From what I'm hearing, Myles Garrett is expected to at least try to play. So expect to see him a little bit. Cordell Patterson is listed as questionable. That's another reason I got the Falcons not winning this game. But I do like what I see from the Falcons. Keep, building Drake London's confidence. Continue to utilize Kyle Pitts. I mean, and if I'm being honest, defense, just keep doing what you're doing. I don't think we can ask any more from our defense. I don't. But it's not that I can't see the Falcons winning this game. Is I have to be real. I have to take away the Atlanta portion of it and just focus on Browns versus Falcons. I mean, because something I will say though. Mariota has to keep winning games to keep his job. Even after the win last week, there's still a lot of people calling for Desmond Ridder. I got the Browns winning this game. Washington, the Washington Commanders, and the Dallas Cowboys. Old-fashioned rivalry. And I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of y'all probably I got Washington Commanders coming out on top. And it's not because Dak is out. It ain't because none of that. I just truly believe this is one of those games where Carson Wentz is gonna go stupid. I do. I feel like Trevon Diggs kind of took advantage of Daniel Jones a little bit last week. And when I say took advantage of it, this was what I mean. It was early in that game, Daniel Jones was kind of attacking Trevon Diggs. And I mean, when I say that game, I'm talking about the Giants against the Cowboys last Monday night. Daniel Jones was kind of targeting Trevon Diggs that whole first half. And Trevon Diggs almost came up with an interception every time. But and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong for feeling this way. Maybe I'm wrong for thinking like this. The Commanders have the type of players that can negate Trevon Diggs. You have a number 1 in Terry McLaurin, and if you want Diggs to follow him around, by all means you can. If that don't work, Curtis Samuel has been a dog this year at receiver and out of the backfield. He been on his Deebo Samuel flow, for real. And then the rookie Jahan Dotson, all this kid does is catch his touchdowns. And you got Logan Thomas at tight end. You got Gibson and McKinnon coming out the backfield. I'm sorry. That team is on Carson Wentz. That team is going to go as far as Carson goes. That is what it is. Cowboys, I can't even really give you an explanation as to why I have them losing this game. I really can't, but I got the Commanders coming out on top. Next, we got the Cardinals going to Carolina. Ooh, that's tricky. Cardinals haven't really looked good this year. Panthers haven't really looked good this year. Ooh, you got Baker versus Kyler. Who's the better Oklahoma Heisman winner? I didn't even think about that. I think this week we get a heavy dose of Christian McCaffrey. Who wins, though? This is the Panthers' 3rd home game already in 4 weeks. That's so odd. This one might have got me, y'all. Ooh, wee. I got the Cardinals. I got the Cardinals winning this game. I got Kyler Murray. I got the 200. I got the $200+ million man. Next game, Broncos Raiders. I ain't even really gonna speak too much on this. I got the Raiders over the Broncos because I'm be real with you. I'm disappointed in Denver. I'm disappointed in the Broncos. I thought Nathaniel Hackett was gonna come over here and do big things, especially when you put Russell. Like man, listen. I'm disappointed in Denver. Their defense has played great. Their defense has won them both of those football games that they have won. And if Russell Wilson just plays somewhat decent, they would be 3-0. But the Raiders are 0-3. I feel like they're pissed. The Raiders are one of those teams that I ain't gonna say. I think Tennessee would have got them last week regardless. But the Raiders to me should be 2-1. They should be. And I know I say a lot of shoulds and whatnot, but it's hard not to do that when you sit here every Sunday and just watch play for play on every game. It's hard because the Raiders got it. They got the players, they got the staff, they got the personnel. They got it. It just got to turn. It has to result in wins. You got Devontae Adams. You using him. He's involved. He scored in all 3 games. Like Darren Waller had a rough one last week. Darren Waller had a couple drops. He got popped in the end zone, which turned into an interception. Darren Waller's having a rough start to the season, but I don't know if it'll turn around from a playoff, standpoint. But I got the Raiders winning this game over the Broncos, man. Something else. Broncos, the receivers got to hold on to the ball. When Russell does put it on you, you got to catch it. Got the Raiders winning. We got Patriots going to Green Bay. I got Green Bay winning this game. No Mac Jones. Patriots offense is still kind of figuring itself out, and it's not going to be no better with your backup in there. I feel like the Packers are the complete opposite. I feel like they're starting to figure it out. I feel like they somewhat have figured it out. And their defense is playing out of this world on all 3 levels. Rashawn Gary is turning into a star right before our eyes. That's real talk. Rashawn Gary is going to be a stud in this league. And Quay Walker, linebacker from Georgia, first round, he doing his thing. Funny story. When I used to watch Georgia play, I used to get them mixed up so much. Trevon and Quay, I used to get Trevon Walker and Quay Walker mixed up so much. Look, that's the side door. Sunday Night Football on NBC. Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Ians. My bad. That wasn't right. That was wrong. I'm sorry, y'all. Chiefs versus Buccaneers. Jose, the Succaneers. Anyway, Chiefs versus the Buccaneers. That game was supposed to be played in Minnesota, but I think I saw something today saying that the game would be played at Raymond James as scheduled. That's good. That's a good thing. I don't know. I feel like I don't really know how to feel about the Buccaneers. If I'm just being honest, they haven't showed me much. They haven't. In all 3 games, it hasn't been convincing. It hasn't been convincing at all. And on the flip side of that, the Chiefs, it's been pretty convincing in all 3 games. Like I said, you take away a Travis Kelce drop touchdown and a Chris Jones verbal blunder, Chiefs are all right. Chiefs are all right. Patrick Mahomes is all right. Love Tyreek Hill, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the league would love to have him. But I think the Chiefs are all right. Chiefs can't stop the run, though. And Fournette, he balling. Ugh. I'm going to go with Kansas City. We got a Super Bowl rematch from 2 years ago. Played in the same stadium. It's going to be some... I think it's a couple players on that Chiefs team that's going to They gonna be a little more fired up than they normally would be. Last game of the week. We got the Rams going to Santa Clara to play the San Francisco 49ers. I got the Rams. I got the Rams. Jimmy G. I don't think Jimmy G is just getting the feel of, being, start. I think Jimmy G is still getting the feel of playing football after his surgery. I do. That was a pretty serious surgery he had to have. And I don't even think he was expecting to be in the situation he's in right now. But unfortunately, Trey Lance ain't coming back, so you got what you got. I just really wish they would throw the ball more, man. I do. But when you got the backs you got Deebo Samuels who can do it all, and you got George Kittle who can block like a left tackle, and Kyle Juszczyk. I got that right. Kyle Juszczyk. When you got Kyle Juszczyk in the backfield who can blow some blood, man, I get it. But I think the Rams... Who did the Rams play last week? They won, but it was ugly. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. I got CTE. Damn. I can't remember who the Rams played last week. I genuinely can't remember. Cardinals. Bam. Even that game wasn't convincing. The defense showed up for sure, but I think this is the game Matt Stafford goes stupid. I think this the 300 plus 3 touchdown. I think this the game he goes stupid. I got the Rams winning this game. That's what I got today, guys. Those were our week 4 predictions. Just to give you a quick rundown, if you didn't really catch everything, we got the Vikings over the Saints. We got the Colts over the Titans. We got the Giants over the Bears. We got the Bills over the Ravens. We got the Chargers over the Texans. We got the Lions over the Seahawks. We got the Steelers over the Jets. We got the Eagles over the Jaguars. We got the Browns over the Falcons. We got the Commanders over the Cowboys. We got the Cardinals over the Panthers. We got the Raiders over the Broncos. We have the Packers over the Patriots. We have the Chiefs over the Broncos. We have the Chiefs over the Buccaneers. And we have the Rams over the 49ers. Guys, I appreciate y'all for watching. That was a lot of fun for me. I normally just sit here and do this stuff in my head, but being able to talk about it, expressing it, opening up, that's fun. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys for listening. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Spread the word. Fantasy Football League update coming real soon. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get real in-depth with that because I got some beef with a couple of dudes. But anyway, I appreciate y'all, man. Stay tuned. We'll be back again ASAP. Z.